Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi, it's Coach Rob from Kids Academy, and we will conclude this chapter by practicing some checkmate in one positions. So all these puzzles, we will be the white side, and we are looking for a move that will win the game in a single turn. We call this checkmate in one. And as we begin to think about these positions, I want you to ask yourself, how can we check the king? How can we target the king? And once we check the king, can our opponent use CPR, capture, protect, run away, to save the king? If the answer is no, then it is checkmate and you have solved the puzzle correctly. But if black can use CPR, capture, protect, or run away, it will not be a checkmate, it'll just be check and the game will continue. So here's our first example. We are white in this game. You should be searching for all of your checks, and then after each check, ask yourself, can black save the king? Can black use CPR? So go ahead and pause your video and find the checkmate in one for white. So I see two checks here. The first one is bishop g7, check. And I ask myself, CPR, can black get safe? Well, the answer is yes. The king can either run away, or black can even do a capture and capture the bishop. The second check, the only other check, is rook b8, check. I see the rook attacks the king. I know pawns can't go backwards, so our rook is safe. The knight and rook, they cannot come back and block, and the king cannot run away because the bishop is protecting the square. The answer is rook b8, checkmate. White wins the game. Once again, we are white, and we are looking for all of the checks possible. Well, I know that this knight cannot check the king. I'm looking step, step, turn, step, step, turn, all of my L's. This knight is not able to aim at the h8 square, but I do notice that once this knight moves, the rook will be opened up, the rook will be unlocked, and it will be check. The question is, does it matter where this knight goes to get out of the way? If we try the move knight takes g7, knight takes g7, this would not be checkmate because the king could capture the knight. If the knight were to travel, let's say, to d6, check, would this be checkmate? Well, the rook's attacking the king. Pawns can't go backwards, so black can't block. Oh, but is this rook safe? The answer is no. This rook would capture it, saving the king. CPR, black would be using the C, capture, to save the king. So therefore, I think it does matter where we put this knight. And the best move in this game, the only move that gives us checkmate in one turn, is knight c7. Why is knight c7 the winning move? Well, it unlocks the rook, which is attacking the king, and it also blocks the black rook from traveling to c8 and capturing our rook. The answer is knight c7, checkmate in one. Okay. A lot going on in this position. This might take a little bit of time. I see a lot of different checks for white. Only one of them looks to be checkmate though. So we have a rook, a second rook, a queen, and a bishop. They're all surrounding the king. They're all doing a very nice job attacking squares around the king. Let's start analyzing all of our checks and figure out which one there is no escape from. So I'm thinking right away, if we put anything on the B file, it won't be checkmate. Black can always block, or P protect. If we use this rook, the king could capture us. If this rook goes to C7, another check, well, the king could run away. Any queen checks on the diagonal, if we go here, or here, or here, will either get captured, or if we go here, black can protect, black can block. If we capture the rook check, the king will capture us. This bishop cannot checkmate the king, they're on opposite color squares, so this dark square bishop can never attack a king on a light square. think the answer is queen c7. The queen's protected. The rook is guarding the 8th rank. The queen is guarding the 7th rank. The bishop is attacking, controlling these squares. There is no way out. Black cannot block. It's too close. Black has no pieces aiming at this square that can capture the queen. Only the king is able to capture, but that's not allowed because that wouldn't be safe. And there's no way to run away. All the squares are being controlled by the white army. Checkmate in 1. If you found queen c7, very nice job. Remember to look at all of your checks. Okay, last one. White's pieces are very well coordinated. This rook is on the d file aiming up. This queen is attacking a lot of squares. In fact, this king is almost in checkmate. We are attacking all the squares around the king, but not the king itself. So we need to be able to control e8 as well. Can this bishop on a dark square help us control e8, which is a light square? The answer is no, it cannot. This bishop isn't doing too much. Maybe this bishop could help. Remember to look at all of your checks. Okay, if we do a rook check, we could be captured. So that won't be mate. Any queen checks, if we go to this square or this square or this square, I think we'll be captured by the king. If we go on the diagonal here and attack the king, I think the king will have e7 to run away to, or even f8. So like I said, the rook and queen are doing a very nice job trapping the king in. If we could bring in another piece and have 3 pieces involved in the attack, I think it would be enough for checkmate. To try to get pieces involved that aren't doing too much good right now, and this bishop can play the move bishop h5, checkmate. The bishop and queen work very nicely on these 2 diagonals. The queen also attacks f8, and the rook attacks all the squares on the d file, checkmate. When we have our pieces coordinated working as a team, we call this a mating net, and it's always a good idea when you're attacking the king to try to have at least 3 pieces involved. That way, it'll be easier to not only attack the king, but attack the squares around the king as well. Okay, thank you for watching, and remember when you're playing, look at all of your checks. One very well might be checkmate. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links to our apps in the comments below.